My friend Janice, her sister's a lawyer.
You think I should sue over the burger? That's interesting.
No, I just mean... Buffy's never gonna be a lawyer or a doctor. Anything big.
She's a slayer. She saves the whole world. That's way bigger.
But that means she's gonna have, like, crap jobs her whole life, right? Minimum wage stuff. I mean, I could still grow up to be anything. But for her, this is it.
Okay, but maybe you'll be a lawyer or a doctor and you can use all your money to support your deadbeat sister.
Oh, that's terrifically better. Thanks.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 113 of Revisiting Sunnydale. I'm Camila.
I'm Marcella.
We're currently having a debate. So, this will be long gone, but like the poll will be over and everything by the time this airs. But apparently, Marcella and I are separated into two different camps concerning Fright Night's Jerry Dandridge.
Yep, Jerry Dandridge.
Apparently, to Marcella, there's only one. There can only be one, and it is
there can only be one.
Sir Chris Sarandon. And I am clearly staked out, in the Colin Farrell camp.
Who I have dubbed Jerry with a G.
Which, rude. That's not okay.
Currently, the poll has Sarandon pulling ahead 57 to 43%.
I saw that, and I'm not happy with it. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know if it's
Smooth
just because
jazz and a nicely fitting sweater. That's where it is.
Is it because, like, because I didn't see the original Fright Night until after I saw the remake, and I was well into my adulthood. So I don't know if it's because, you know, those adolescent feelings about Chris Sarandon never got there. I never had those.
That could be it.
And there's like the nostalgia because clearly Colin Farrell is over the top. Like, I mean,
well,
Colin Farrell was born to...
like, it's not just that I find him the better Jerry Dandridge. I also prefer the 80s movie. I hate that movie.
Really?
I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate the Amy. I hate that they changed her into some kind of hero. I liked the storyline with her being someone from his past. And that's why he was obsessed with her. Like,
Gotcha.
I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
Turning her into kind of the hero of the movie felt a little...
forced?
Yes, very forced. And then McLovin completely ruined the character of Ed. Like, 100%. Why are you even in this movie? I totally didn't get it.
He was like, he is the downfall of that film. I do agree. Like, that, I don't like that kid at all. That actor.
Not at all. And the kid in the original that played Ed, so over the top, but so perfect. Like, he's so, like, you're so cool, Brewster. Like, oh, everything about it. And then there's David Tennant, who I'm a Whovian. You know, I love me some David Tennant, but I hate him in that movie.
What? He's delightful.
So much.
I find him delightful. I
hate him so much. And it's only because they took such a great character like Peter Vincent and they turned him into Chris Angel.
Okay.
I don't like that they changed it to a stage show and that, like, he was fighting buxy vampires on it. Like, the fact that Peter Vincent had a TV show, like Elvira's show at, you know, Friday night at midnight made so much more sense.
Right. As opposed
David
to
Tennant's character, it's like Chris Angel fighting and I
think that was actually my introduction to David Tennant. That was probably the first time I'd seen him like on like doing anything, and I thought it was hilarious, and I love his little his girlfriend, how they respond to each other, how she cusses him out on a regular basis.
And then Anton Yelchin just makes me sad.
Oh, poor R.I.P. Which
he just makes me sad. Well, and
so adorable.
In the battle of the two Charlie Brewsters, he doesn't even compare. Like, I just prefer the original over the.
Well, agree to disagree.
Yep.
It's just, so it is. So shall it be.
Yep. So say we all.
Oh God. But yeah. So that's what's going on over here. Along with
shout out if you missed the poll. Shout out and let us know what you think.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's an interesting thing, and you know what? I never really thought about it as quite deep. And actually, that now I want to like delve into like other remake type franchises and stuff like that. Like who's the better version of this?
Right. I could sense a whole new podcast coming out of it. Like comparing the Point Breaks.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like the new Point Break's a total piece of shit. But wow, are the cast good looking? Like I really like that one. I don't know what his name is though. Eduardo.
Yeah,
Ramirez.
He was in Domino, I think.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah, he's so pretty.
So hot.
He's so pretty. But
you're still not Bodhi. Like,
yeah, and again, that's another one. Like, I didn't see Point Break, the original one, until a couple years ago, and I enjoyed it. Like, it was much better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't bother to watch the remake. I knew that was going to be trash.
Keanu, love him.
Yes, always a fan favorite, and oh yeah, bless his soul. Like I was never really like, oh, Keanu, and it was just always like he's fine. Like I never had any ill feelings toward him, but it wasn't until like I started to like learn about his real life, just like, oh my god, my god, this guy is he's been through so much. He's so sweet and just so grounded, and now looking at his like now girlfriend, who's just this regular woman who, I mean, I don't know what she does in her life, but she's not an actress, and it's just like, wow, Keanu, like you've got to be like the best Hollywood celebrity ever that there is, and like giving up his seat on the subway and the whole thing, that story with like when he was grounded, like he was in an airplane and the plane got grounded and then they all had to take like a bus somewhere, and
I think didn't he rent a car or something and drive with a bunch of people?
I think they all were like on a bus, and he's like looking up facts about the small town on his phone and like reading out these random facts about this small town. Like,
why doesn't that ever happen to me?
Right?
Why am I not that lucky?
Oh God, could you imagine? That would be like the greatest thing ever. It's like, well,
I think Keanu wants to go to a bed and breakfast, y'all.
So yes. And that poll is happening on our Twitter account at Back to Sunnydale, or it happened on there. And we also still have our Facebook page, even though I'm not on Facebook anymore, Revisiting Sunnydale. And you can always find our podcast on iTunes, Libsyn, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and Player FM. Pretty much anywhere you can get your podcast, except for Spotify, because in the past I've used some unlicensed materials in this podcast.
In the early days.
Exactly, before I realized. Like, I mean, I knew it was technically wrong, but I didn't realize it was going to keep me off of Spotify. So.
But you can use your Alexa-enabled devices. You just have to speak very clearly, as I have found. I was screaming at her the other day, and I couldn't get her to play it. And instead, she played your other podcast, The Number One Movie, and I was like,
really?
Oh, listen to that. Yeah, I was like,
how?
I give up.
How did you?
I don't know.
How did we get here, Alexa?
I know. I was like, okay. But then I was like, well, I want to hear this Horton Hears a Who episode anyway, because I've never seen that movie.
Oh God, yeah. Don't bother watching it. So if you guys are interested in finding and deciding whether or not you should watch Horton Hears a Who and don't care about so-called spoilers, go listen to my other podcast, The Number One Movie in America, where we talk about movies that have made the number one in the box office and try to figure out why. We just recorded What About CB4, and
oh no,
yeah, exactly.
That movie was number one.
That is the biggest question every time, even when we pulled the movie, and every time I tell somebody that this is what we did, that is the immediate response. And that was all of our responses, is like, this movie was number one.
What else came out that week?
I forget what else is on there, but we do talk about it on the podcast. But my theory, but my theory was that because there's so few black films that come out that in wide releases, especially at that time period, that, you know, when something does happen, we're all like, yay, let's go see. I mean, I never saw it because it just didn't interest me at all. That wasn't my thing. But yeah, like we go out in droves to go see it and support it. And I did like the numbers, and there were like probably only 5 other black films that came out that year. And only a couple of them got wide releases. The other one, and only 2 of them got number one at the box office. The other one was Poetic Justice. But surprisingly, What's Love Got to Do With It came out that year. Did not make number one. Which,
interesting. Far better movie too.
Right?
Than both of those.
Right? And even Menace to Society also didn't make it to number one. So
interesting.
Right. So I'm assuming, like, I don't know what else came out when What's Love and Menace to Society came out, but I'm assuming they did not get very wide releases. I'm sure Poetic Justice was like in everybody's fucking theater.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy that movie.
It's all right. Like,
the problem with it is that I see how much they hate each other.
Right.
In a movie where they're supposed to be falling in love.
Right. And
so I can't get into it.
At no point does it look like you guys are actually, like, it all looks very just like you're putting up with each other. Like the whole thing looks like I just need a ride to this hair show. And so I'm putting, like, it doesn't, I don't feel any of it. So.
And then you hear the behind the scenes stuff and you're like, yep, that's all right there.
Seems about right.
Film.
That's what happens when you
Somebody should have said, one of y'all got to go.
Yeah.
I don't even care who.
Right.
At that point, I don't even know who was the bigger draw for the movie. But so one of y'all got to go.
I don't know. That's a good point.
Let's remake Poetic Justice.
Yeah, we should do that with folks who actually like each other. So, so pandemic watching, speaking of televisions and things like that.
So I decided to see what our favorite new pandemic watchings were. So we're going to talk very briefly about our favorite new TV series. Mine is Warrior Nun. It's on Netflix. And for a show with such a stupid title, it's amazing. It came up in my feed and I was like, Warrior Nun?
Yeah, I still was looking at that. So I was like, this sounds real dumb.
And then right after the first episode, I was like, again, let's go.
Really?
Number 2. And then I sat there and I must have watched half of it the first day.
Wow.
And then the second half, I was at my mom's and we watched it together. And I was like, I got to go home. I want to finish watching this show. And as soon as I got home, then I finished it that night. And there better be a second season because it leaves you with a cliffhanger.
Oh, man.
It was great.
Is there anybody?
And yours is I've not heard of.
Yeah, and I haven't. Okay, so I haven't gotten into anything that's just like bingeable just right now. So this is like a series it's a docuseries that's on HBO right now. It's called I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Now, what I've been binge watching mostly, like, I've been rewatching SVU and Nip Tuck, and started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But yeah, so I'll Be Gone in the Dark. It's a docuseries, and it's based upon the book of the same title by Michelle McNamara, who was Patton Oswalt's late wife, and she had dedicated like all this time and energy to researching the Golden State Killer. Now, this is the dude that they ended up catching last year, I think it was, like, due to fucking science and everybody's putting their DNA in the system and stuff, which is another reason why I'm not doing like Ancestry, whatever, and all that stuff, because I know I got a lot of fucking like randos in my family tree that I don't want to be connected to, and I'll be damned if somebody comes knocking on my door talking about one of your third cousins somewhere.
But on the flip side, if your foot ever ends up in the river, at least there is DNA on file that you can be found if anything were to happen.
Because I know I got a lot of questionable apples on that tree, but but yeah, so the docuseries is about her quest to write about and investigating the Golden State Killer, this dude who was like raping and murdering folks in the 70s, I think it was, in California.
Did her research directly lead to him being like? Was it part of? I believe why they captured him.
I believe so, but I don't think she was alive.
I think she had died. Yeah, she died in her sleep.
Yeah, I think it was like an accidental overdose or something like that, because she was like taking a bunch of different medications, and I don't think I know she wasn't alive when they caught him. I think it was just mostly the science but I'm pretty sure there was a lot of other stuff that she helped that helped to catch him.
Nice.
There's like, I think I'm only like the third episode in, but it's really good. Patton Oswalt. It's also like They do a great job of like they're telling the story of how she'd gone about the investigations and everything, but it's also a really good story about her and who she was. And like Patton tells like this really sweet story about how they met, and it's just like, oh, it's so damn heartbreaking. And you just and they're just
he's off his back too about him remarrying so quickly.
Yeah,
like she died.
Right.
It's not like they got a divorce.
Exactly.
She was never going to come back.
Right.
It's not disrespectful, and I'm sure she would have wanted him to find love again and not be alone.
Exactly. Especially like,
So,
you know, their young child. Yeah, exactly. Like let him do him. And I'm sure, and I think like he still even wears his wedding ring, his wedding band from that marriage on like his other hand or something like that. So yeah.
He married Natty Gann.
Who is that? He
married Meredith Salinger.
From
she was in the movie The Journey of Natty Gann when she was in her teens with John Cusack, and she was in Dream a Little Dream.
Oh,
yeah.
Sweet. And also, keeping it on the serial killer thing, like I found out randomly that Donnie Wahlberg hosts a TV show called Very Scary People. And it's just about, you know, serial killers.
Scary.
It's like each episode is about a different serial killer. But I was just like, huh? And some of y'all know that I've had this on again, off again relationship with Donnie. Like Donnie and I are like in this tumultuous relationship right now. But I'm
still not over him marrying Jenny McCarthy.
So I feel like this is like his way of trying to woo me back. But I was seeing this television show. At first I thought it was brand new, but apparently this is season 2 that just started.
I
had never heard of it before. And it's on some channel called HLN. No idea.
HLN. Oh, Headline News Network.
Thank you. Because I didn't even know what it stood for. Like if I had seen that, just HLN, I would have assumed it was some sort of homemaking channel or something.
No, my dad used to watch HLN a lot, and I hated it because it would drive me insane because it's like an hour's worth of news stories, but then they play it again and then again and again. And it's like, I've heard the same, like I've watched the same footage 20 times now. Why are you still watching this?
Yeah.
And he'd watch it all day.
Yikes.
Meredith Salinger. We know her for a closer reason. She was Grace Newman in the season 2 Buffy episode, I Only Have Eyes for You. She was the school teacher that Christopher Gorman killed.
Oh. Huh. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So way to go, Patton.
Right. So yeah, those are the 2 TV shows that I'm mostly.
And now we're also going to talk about our best new streaming movie. I have 2 because your streaming movie is also my streaming movie, but I also had to give props real quick to the old guard.
I've heard
with
great things about it.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So, and I'm serious. If we made an older grizzlied Buffy, like a remake, I want Charlize.
That would be
if we're
awesome.
Talking like Buffy in her 40s, I want Charlize.
That'd be dope.
Wouldn't it?
But also just kind of like
so cool.
But also just like a little bit like kind of rude to because isn't Sarah in her 40s?
She is. She is indeed in her 40s, and she's also like a full foot shorter, I think.
Right? Yeah. Charlize is not a tiny woman. She's like I think she's like 5'11" or something.
If you guys look into some of the go to YouTube and look up some of the behind the scenes stuff for Old Guard, Charlize does not fuck around. She was serious about getting these fight scenes correct.
I love
and
her.
She trained and worked her ass off, and I legit think she could kick somebody's ass if they came up on her.
I'm sure. I love her. And I'm also kind of salty that because I heard that they did not consider her for the prequel to Mad Max, which is supposed to be the story of Furiosa. Or
is she too old? They want to do it when
apparently, yeah. Which
have you seen that woman? She looks amazing.
Right? Like you could have totally pulled it off. Like how far back in the future like are you going? Like it doesn't
let her. She was bald. She looked totally older because she was bald. Let her grow her hair out.
Right. I saw her on I saw her on fucking Today Show or something the other morning, and without studio lighting, like she was on Skype or whatever in her own house. Like she looked great. She looked amazing.
Yeah, I was kind of mad about that.
Mad about
it might have been Fallon. Because something fell down on her wall, and she was just like, well, you guys are just gonna have to deal with that. It was like a picture, like actually fell while she was on the phone or on the Skype call, and I was just like, why are you so pretty?
I know. When she was on
even at home.
When she was on the Today Show, like she started talking and then just like you hear this uproar in the background and she was just like, oh my God, I'm sorry. It's like, I apologize. Like everything was quiet until right when I just connected to you and now my kids and my dogs are going insane.
That's the best thing about the pandemic is that everyone's just like, whatever.
Right.
You hear a dog, whatever. People could be screaming in the back. Like there was one today. We had a giant call and I was like, oh, that exec looks so nice. Why does she have a bunch of garbage bags behind her? What? You couldn't have pulled those off screen because now that's all I can see is these garbage bags.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
It's kind of funny. but our other favorite new movie.
Yeah, mine. Like I haven't had a chance to watch too many new movies, but Psych 2 and Lassie Come Home. Like that's
Lassie Come Home.
Oh, I mean, it was very bittersweet. Just the whole like, I'm glad Timothy Olmesen was in it, but I was also very sad that Timothy Olmesen was in it. It's because they make Lassie's storyline similar to his. You know, Lassie had a stroke, and you know, as most of us know, like Timothy had one in real life a few years ago, and he's been he's recovering well.
Yeah,
but it's like he's not the same.
Not the same at all.
It's definitely not.
But
the same.
they did really well. On a whole, it's not as good as the first movie. Storyline wise, it feels very disjointed and scene to scene.
Right.
But it has that classic, just this is an episode feel to it.
Right.
You know, and I think my favorite part was the joke Sean made about This Is Us.
Oh God, and A Million Little Things.
Yes. ABC has a newer and much better show.
It's like, why are you still watching This Is Us? And the little girl who plays his girlfriend in A Million Little Things was the one who owned the cat, Faye.
Oh, is that who that? I'm not used to seeing. I've only seen like a couple episodes of A Million Little Things, and she had pink hair, I think.
Yeah.
When I saw her.
But it took me a long time. I was like, how do I know this person? I couldn't place her. But it was just cracking me up, like how he was saying that she's like, how old do you think I am? He's like 9. And he just keeps making these comments about, where are your parents? Like,
and the whole scene with Mary, I like guffawed, and I think I spit liquid out of my mouth because it was so ridiculous.
So ridiculous. Have you ever seen the color blue?
So it's a very strange movie, but it's
full of all
gives me that
it's
love.
Full of all of the psych stuff that you want it to be a part of. And there's all these great little Easter eggs per usual, you know, like Gus's nicknames, and you know, there's some fun jokes there, like they kind of break the fourth wall a little bit, and you know, it's just great. And then you get to the end, and I just like bawled into tears. So you know, but it was fun and it was great, and I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad I saw it.
There are several things that need unpacking. Like, it's not okay to just let Gus sleep in your drawer overnight,
right?
Like that's just not. It's not.
Like also,
leave,
Gus. You think you're better than this, sir? Like,
not to mention, Gus's relationship is weird.
With his girlfriend?
Yeah. She's weird. She might be a stage 5 clinger that we should be concerned about.
But it's funny because, like, I mean, I guess she technically is the female Gus. Like, in a lot of ways that she acts. And I got in what... And I think it was... I'm pretty sure it was this one, but maybe it was the other... Because I watched the first movie too, and then I watched the second one. But there's this joke where, like, they're at a crime scene or something, and Gus pulls out a waffle. Like, Sean turns to talk to Gus, and Gus is eating a waffle. And Sean's like, where did you get waffles? And Gus is like, don't mind your business, Sean. Don't worry about it. And Sean reaches for it, and he slaps him with a waffle. Like, and stuff like that.
When he was eating the ice.
Oh, God.
Especially after he found out about the ice. It got me.
Yes. So as always, Psych was delightful, and you know, Gus and Sean delivered per usual.
Go to Vudu or Prime or Hulu, wherever you have to go, and watch Psych if you haven't.
Yes,
you will not regret it.
Like beginning to end, man. Like it's amazing. Like I've probably rewatched that series like 10 times already because it's just basically like the nighttime show. And
you know that feeling you get when a theme song that you haven't heard in a while comes on, you're just like,
yes,
home. And that's how that theme song is.
I got verklempt a little bit. It's like, oh.
Then you start dancing around. You're like, I love this song. Well, we have a site connection in tonight's episode.
We do, which is funny, which is just very serendipitous. So,
it really is.
Season 6, Episode 12, Doublemeat Palace. Original air date January 29th, 2002. Written by Jane Espenson, directed by Nick Mark. Buffy starts a new job in the fast food industry, and of course, her quote day job follows her. Apparently, Marcella did not like the IMDb summary, so she made her own.
I didn't like him at all. It was way too. I'm like, she works at Doublemeat, but that's all you need to know.
Is Amber in this? No. Is she?
I don't actually. No, she's not. This is one of 2 episodes two in a row where she's not in an episode.
Okay, so our guest stars: Elizabeth Ann Allen as Amy, Pat Crawford Brown as the Wig Lady.
You have seen her in things like Fred the Show. She was Andy's grandma on Parks and Rec, and she was Pierce's mom on Community. And she played Sister Agnes on Days of Our Lives.
Oh, wow. She's had a rich career because this lady pops up a lot of places.
A lot of places.
Callie Roca as Halfrick.
And she was also in Fool for Love. She played Cecily. They're probably the same character, the same person. Well, they imply it later on.
Like much later. And like they basically just kind of like brush past it. It's never that kind of irks me.
Me too.
And our site connection, Kristen Nelson as Lorraine Ross,
he plays Karen Peck.
Yay! And Brent Hinckley as Manny.
He was in Silence of the Lambs. Ed Wood. He also played a fast food restaurant manager in Falling Down. He was in Universal Soldier. He's been on Broadway. This man has done it all.
Yeah, he's another one of those. It's like, hey, it's that guy.
Yeah.
And I never knew his name, or I could never really point out exactly where else I've seen him.
Yeah.
So Willow is giving Xander and Anya the rundown of what she saw at the trio's lair.
You know, I love Buffy's one of the few shows that I will sit through the previously on because sometimes they're just amazing. Right. And it reminds you, oh yeah, that happened.
Right.
But why does Xander have popcorn? We're like, they're going to watch a movie, or did he just think that this was
going to be that great?
Yeah.
This is I don't know. It's just a strange random snack. Maybe they were going to watch a movie and I don't know. But so they're doing all that and they're just, and my burn of the week comes in very early. And it's basically here because Anya, and I'm also confused a little bit because Anya talks about how, she doesn't agree with the trio's whole supervillain vibe. That they want to do something. They don't want to put in the work. They want all this big reward, but they don't want to put in the work. And apparently, as a vengeance demon, she put in the work and she was compensated for it appropriately. How was she compensated?
How?
Was there a paycheck?
Right. Was De Hoffren giving her benefits like a 401k?
Yeah. Like, was there a whole W-9 situation that she had to fill out? Like, I don't understand. Like, what? We need to talk more about that. And so she's going on about this. Xander makes this snide-ass comment. Like, welcome to today's episode of Go Money Go. I hear it daily. Like, bitch. Okay. That's 1. 2. And then Willow answers, yep, for the rest of your life. And then they give each other a look. Anya is right the fuck there.
Right there. And she's just like, okay, all right. And she's too busy talking about how America was shaped. She's stuck on this idea that they like she got compensated fairly. Why can't they do the same thing?
Right.
And it just further points out that they're not meant to be together.
No, he's so disrespectful. Like to her face, and then lets his friend disrespect her to her face. Yeah. She's right there. Y'all are so rude.
Just not meant to be together.
And I appreciate the fact that, like, later on, Halfrick does bring this up, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's ignored. I mean, it kind of gets in there, but it's not enough.
Right. So as they're going on and on about this, we find out that they're waiting on Buffy because she's going to be late for work. She's got a job, and poor baby. That uniform. Oh, Buffy.
This is almost as funny as when she walks in the magic box and Giles is in his wizard outfit.
Yes.
Because she says something about being a tool.
Yeah. I don't know which is more degrading, her outfit or his. It's
hers, I think, because at least he enjoyed his.
Right.
Until
He chose his. He chose his. And she's got like a full-on like chicken through her hat, and it's just a very unflattering shade of orange, just all around, just so much orange. And then we have, so her first day of work, she's got to go through the whole training video that's full of that false hope of your newfound quote career. Yep. Like, this is, you're going to be the happiest person here. This is going to be amazing. Welcome to the family, the Doublemeat Palace family.
And you have that look on your face that she has where you're just like, this is going to suck.
Right. Like, and it's like, why with the falsities, Doublemeat Palace? Like, in any, let's just keep it real, any fast food industry, like, like nobody is 99.9% of the people who work in a fast food industry are not there because they love the fast food industry.
Right. They're there for a paycheck.
Right.
A not very good one.
Right. They don't want to do that much per se, or they're not qualified to do anything else. And they just need a paycheck. Mm-hmm. And that's Buffy's case as well. But she's like, Manny, the manager, asks why is she there? And she's like, well, I need money like now. And I didn't want to go through like this lengthy interview process. I mean, I'm really excited about being in the fucking fast food industry.
Because Manny seems like that 1%.
Right.
That actually is there for the long haul.
He's a lifer, he calls himself. And he's been there for 10 years. 10 long years.
As his big ass button proudly proclaims.
So proud of it. I don't understand why Buffy just didn't decide to just go ahead and, you need money right away. Waiting tables would have been a better option.
Right? Or working in a bar.
Yeah. You're still strong.
Is she of age yet?
Yeah, she has to be, right?
I think so. Maybe not. I don't know.
But still. Waiting tables.
And I don't want to profile people, but when she's in the break room, the people that work at this, there's a kid that's, only there making money for college.
Right.
There's a guy who looks like he's on work release.
Exactly.
Not to be mean.
But that's what he looks like.
And then you got Manny. Well, and then you got Buffy.
Oh, baby.
And that's all that we see at first. We haven't even met that weird old lady.
Right. Yeah. So
that her soul has died.
Yeah. I don't know if she's considered a lifer, or is she just this is late in life job changing situation.
That poor old lady's 401k is not covering her prescription.
Right. Exactly. Things have gone awry in her life, and that poor thing needs some money.
Everyone looks so sad. So let's break down.
It's so disheartening.
It is. It's so disheartening. But also, ew. On this sandwich.
Ew.
It is a hamburger with a piece of chicken on it.
It's huge. Too.
It's massive.
And it's not even like a piece of chicken. It's like a thick piece of chicken deli meat.
Yeah, it's like chicken loaf. Yeah. It actually looks like turkey.
Yeah.
And they assume that you're going to want your meal, your free meal.
Immediately. And you must eat it in front of you.
You can't sell the product if you haven't tried it yet. So,
how much selling do you need at a fast food joint, though? Seriously.
Right?
We're not.
People either want it or they don't.
Right. And, they all know what they're coming there for. They've all seen the commercials. They know.
Right. It's really creepy when it's disgusting. It's a lot. It's 3 buns,
Ugh.
A giant patty, a big piece of chicken, 2 pieces of lettuce, and a tomato.
She can't even fit that in her mouth, really.
No. And the words processed chicken product don't make me feel good.
It's a meat process. Okay. Can we break that down? Is it a process of making the meat? Or is it a meat that's been processed? And
I don't know why she didn't just say she was a vegetarian, which wouldn't have really worked anyway. But
right.
Because she tells him that she had a big breakfast. She doesn't want to try it right now. And he just pushes it at her.
I'm offended.
I would have said, no, thank you. I don't eat meat. And then what was he going to say? Right. Wow.
Probably well, you can't work here.
Right? Was that a prerequisite?
I know, maybe. So this is actually a cow chicken that's on their hats.
Yes.
It's a
because remember
head.
In the video,
right?
The cow and the chicken got all swirly.
Ugh, it's a cow's head with a chicken's tail. Super cool. So Buffy is training on the front register in the front.
And flirting.
Ish.
Yeah. A little flirting.
Yeah. With this Gary kid who's also, I'm sure, saving up for college or working while in college. And, she's making these little jokes and whatnot. And he's like, you got to stop it. Like, you can't stop showing life in this place. They'll snatch it right out of you.
And here comes little old lady.
Old lady. She orders
She
small
just
coffee.
Wants her, small coffee and a cherry pie.
$1.92. It'd be like $7.50 right now.
Right? For a McDonald's coffee and cherry pie.
Right.
Would be like $7.50.
I don't remember stuff being that cheap in 2002.
No, I don't either. And I'm kind of mad at Gary here because like a coffee and cherry pie, that's what a trainee should do. He's like, hey, take this family. They're regulars.
Then you know that they're about to order some crazy stuff then.
Right.
And I would also like to point out that this father is a dick the way he orders. Nobody orders food like that.
No.
Like all fast and stuff. Like I want this and that and triple and that. Like do you see her pushing anything? Do you see her?
Right. And doesn't she have a button that says like trainee? And if she doesn't, she should.
She does. It says trainee under her name on her name tag.
And his kids look like the Flowers in the Attic kids.
They do.
Like there's some seriously scary kids. I don't like it. I don't trust them. And now Buffy has to eat another one of these. I don't know why she's eating it.
I don't know either. Like, can't you just opt for fries? Like, why do you have to? Can't you just have a cherry pie?
and a coffee.
All right.
But no, she's got the whole meal.
Ugh.
Well, I don't like it.
So later in the day, the gang comes and visits because that's what she needs on the first day.
Right.
And Anya can't stop talking about the wedding plans, and Willow is lightweight tweaking over there.
She really is. Is it the fluorescence? Is that what's making her all twitchy, maybe?
I don't know, but she's just like, she's playing with the straws, and she's just kind of like, eh. And Buffy tries to tell them that something's wrong there, and her spidey sense is tingling, and they're not trying to hear it, and Xander gets a free fucking burger. Like, I don't know. Like, this is your first day, Buff. You can't just go giving away free food.
Right? You can't give out free food on the first day. But I love that she fucks with him a little, and she's like, we cut way back on the cat.
He's like,
cat? She was like, I think.
Maybe.
Or it's something else.
I don't know. And he keeps eating anyway. And so...
And this old lady, that Buffy's like, I'm going to go take a break. And she like waves her hand in front of the old lady's face and she barely even moves. You might want to call a doctor. Something's wrong with her.
I think she had a stroke. She's petrified standing up.
Something's definitely wrong with her. And now comes our favorite part.
That's the most favorite part of this entire thing. So when Buffy tries to ask Gladys or whomever if she should take a break, she's like, "It's slow. There's nobody here." And Gladys is all, "You sure there is?" And she points out, and here's our boy.
Here's our boy. Looking all good.
He's looking great, but also very confused and misplaced and like studying that menu intently.
And it's so bright in there, and he's not quite happy about the lights.
This just cracks, the look on his face cracks me up so much. He's so confused.
I like the little, we may have to add a segment about Spike's innuendos.
Yeah.
Because in this episode, he makes one about her work. She chose a profession in the service industry. So service him.
Right. Oh my God.
And he's just, she just wants him to leave. She's like, please just go.
Because I think she's, lightweight. She knows what she wants to do with him. 1, 2, she's lightweight embarrassed of her whole ensemble, which sure. Because every time he shows up in here, she removes her hat and like smooths her hair. So she's very self-conscious about her appearance when he's around.
Yeah.
He makes some comments about, twitching like the fluorescent lights, making Demon's skin all twitchy and whatnot. And suggests that maybe that's the type of demon she is. We revisit the whole, I don't know why you can hit me, but I'm not a demon, blah, blah, blah. And then Spike makes an offer. He's like, you know what? You're too good for this place. Why are you here? Just leave right now. You're not happy. And if you need money, I can get money. I can get you money.
Puppy.
I would have been like, okay. Works for me.
I quit.
Right. It's not the worst.
She's like, no. Just leave me alone. And he's like, this place will do stuff to you. It'll kill you.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we cut to Gary getting killed in the alley. He deserves no more, no less. Right. He just gets killed in the alley very quickly. And it's
alluded that he knows who this is. Because like, hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So, bye-bye,
Poor
Gary.
Gary. R.I.P. Bye, Gary.
Bye, dude.
So then the next day, there's a new weird kid that she's talking to.
Which I guess he was off yesterday.
I guess.
But poor Manny, Manny tells her that Gary didn't show up. You got to pull his card. And she's like, he might, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, nope, he's gone, whatever. He's done. So I need you to go to run the grill.
It's like, you sure you don't want to check on him? Maybe his grandma died or something. I mean,
like, make a phone call, Manny. Is that too much to ask?
Right.
Call his house.
They're like, nope, he's gone. If you want anything out of his locker.
Yikes.
Okay.
So Buffy is training on the grill with the ex-con.
And it's gross.
So
he starts talking about some wax buildup.
Gross. If I already was anti-beef, like, this would have been the moment right here that would be like, I just can't with any of it because he's so crazy. He's so gross and crazy.
It's so gross.
And he just he makes all these comments about how working the grill gets grease everywhere in your nostrils. And then he talks about how he got so much grease plugged up in his ear once that he couldn't hear, and now he's got a kit to clean his ears. Oh.
Buffy is slowly dying inside during this conversation.
And I kind of am too. Because more than anything, I just want it to be over.
And she's like, Manny comes over and he's like, Buffy. And she's like, oh, Manny needs me. I don't have to talk to this creepy guy anymore. Yes, Manny? And he's like, I need you to work another 8 hours.
That's some bullshit.
Another 8 hours on top of this 8 hours?
Poor Buffy.
Right then and there, I'd have been like, no.
No, I'm done. I can't do this. I'm not cut out for this.
I'm not cut out for this. Why?
Spike, you said something about getting money.
Right? Anya, you don't need help. I know that day was terrible, but it cannot be worse than this.
No, it cannot be.
But then we go over to Xander's house, and Halfrek shows up and scares the living crap out of Xander. And I can see why. I mean, a vengeance demon's actual face is kind of scary.
It looks like somebody's skin has been taken off their face.
Right? But she's come to visit. Well, actually, she thought she was there to do vengeance, but Anya has just invited her to the wedding.
And they're all very like, old girls catching up. Oh my God, you're getting married. Squee! And Xander excuses himself.
Mm-hmm. He decides it's a perfect time to leave. Wait, again, why are you being an asshole?
He's being really rude. Like, you find out, okay, sure, she scared you initially when she showed up. She's a vengeance demon, sure. But your fiance, clearly she's her friend, and she's going to be invited to your wedding.
Right.
Was there even, like, nothing? Like, no nice to meet you, no shaking of a hand? Like,
nothing.
What a dick. Can I offer
and
you a cold beverage?
They both looked at him as he walked out like, huh.
Yeah.
And then Halfrek gets real judgy right away.
Which, you know what? Tell her, Halfrek. That's what friends are for.
She's like, you're marrying the man with the large upper arms. His arms aren't that big.
No, they're not. He just has on like 2 or 3 shirts right now.
Got that 90s way too many clothes happening.
Right, the layers of, I don't know why. It'd be like a thermal top under a t-shirt, under a button-down flannel, under a hoodie. Like, why? Why so many clothes?
Right? So back at the Doublemeat Palace, Buffy's now on fries, and that creepy kid is telling her why sometimes the fry oil just bubbles up by itself. And it's because maybe a bug fell in there.
Gross.
I now understand why McDonald's and other fast food places were kind of upset about this episode. But more on that later.
Right.
Now, Buffy's outside being very un-Buffy.
She's taking a break. Taking a break and breaking Spike off a piece.
Yep. In the alley.
Buffy and Summers, ma'am.
And unless he's got the most interestingly shaped penis I've ever heard of or seen.
This doesn't work.
The dynamics of what they're doing in the alley. That is not how any of this works.
No, I'm assuming maybe they're just dry humping.
Right? And she doesn't even look like she's enjoying it.
No, she doesn't. Oh, God.
And then back at the Summers house, we get our first glimpse in a few weeks of Amy.
Yeah. Amy came back because she wants her cage.
I don't know. She nostalgia? Or, she just misses it? I don't know.
It's just a weird thing to want. Mm-hmm. But yet she's talking to Willow and asking her, like, how's this whole no magic thing going? Willow is still just like, kind of gritting her teeth, freaking out a little bit, but I'm dealing. She's working through it. She's working through her problems. And Amy doesn't agree with it, and she's trying to, like, basically talk her back into doing the magics. So what we've got is this common theme happening right now with Amy and Spike and Halfrick of our friends are being visited by their demons of the past, basically.
Yep.
We're trying to get them to change, to go on a different path. Like the 2 out of the 3 are kind of detrimental to them. I mean, Halfrick, she's spilling truth and knowledge.
Yeah.
So,
and Amy's just like, you're highlighting the entire book.
Right.
You sure your focus is back?
And she doses her. She doses Willow with some magics that Willow did not ask for.
Nope. Bitch. Claiming it's a birthday present.
Bitch. And Willow's like, hey, it's not my birthday.
Yeah.
And then she tries to give her some like weird like loophole. It's like, oh, this isn't your magic. This is my magic. So it's totally legal. No, they said no magic. They didn't say, Willow, you're not allowed to use your magic. It's not.
And it's terrible magic too. It's like making things disintegrate.
It's like, what is the point of this? This is like
so I can hurt people?
King Midas. Like what?
Right?
Like why do I want this?
Bad situation. And Amy, you are not her friend.
No, Amy's a terrible person.
And I feel bad for her. She's all black-eyed Willow, and she's scared. She doesn't know what to do. She destroyed a vase. She destroyed a lamp. But even worse than that, Buffy finds a finger.
In the meat. Or underneath the grinder, or near the grinder, or whatever. It's too close to the food. She finds a finger.
And why is she just watching it, like, overflow?
Yeah.
It's real nasty. Like, you should have moved that container a long time ago. There's just meat spilling out onto the... Like, stop the grinder.
So she finds...
And not to mention, there's no way a finger would come through solid.
No. So
that finger got there somehow.
Yeah. She finds it and then she takes it to Manny and it's very accusatory. And he is very shady about like why. She's like, well, is this Gary's? And what's going on? And it's not, he's like, I don't know, this and that. And Which...
There was an accident about 6 weeks ago. Maybe it happened then. And Buffy thinks she's a forensic scientist all of a sudden by saying, this is not 6 weeks old. This is now.
This is fresh.
Okay, Buffy.
So she's
saying... Could you please put that finger down?
Right. You're been touching it way too long. And so she says that she makes the assumption that Gary is in the meat. Gary's the meat. And she has a very Soylent Green moment, goes off into the restaurant, in the dining room, and starts snatching everybody's food, talking about, it's people, it's not beef. Don't eat the food. And little old lady.
She causes such a scene.
I know.
But can we talk about who's in the restaurant? Because those people are regulars. The Flowers in the Attic people are either still there from the morning, but this is a whole other day. Why are you there again?
Right.
And Wig Lady's there.
It's like, y'all don't ever cook, huh?
She wants to know if it's in the cherry pie.
Which, I mean, valid question, because that's her order. That's her regular order. She's like, I just want to clarify.
So then Buffy goes out of... She takes it too far and she starts beating everybody up.
And gets fired. Which, yeah, that's fair.
I guess that's how that goes. Why are both Halfrick and Anya both wearing almost identical clothing?
I want to know why they're sitting in the dark.
That too.
Yeah.
That's probably how Xander keeps his bills down. He strikes me as the guy that's like, why are all the lights on in the house?
Because it's midnight and I can't see.
I can't see. Maybe I don't like to walk into a dark room.
Right. Thank you.
I leave a light on in the living room every night.
Same.
Because I don't want to come downstairs and be like, I can't see me.
Right. Exactly. It's all about survival, man.
Right.
So anyway, Halfrick and Anya are chatting, having some teas and whatnot, and Halfrick's asking Anya the hard questions. Why are you marrying Xander? And Anya's like, this, that, and the other. He loves me even though I'm not easy to love. Oh, let's unpack that.
And that's what Halfrick, she's like, who told you you were easy to love? Everyone I've ever met, ever.
And then Anya's like, well, sometimes I'll say something and Xander will point out that I'm wrong for saying it. And it's not how, and I'm wrong for this and I shouldn't do that. And I don't do this right. And I don't do that right. And Alfred's like, okay, if you say so.
I love her.
Right.
She just gives several.
Okay. And basically, like Anya does come to some realizations on her own.
She's feeling some certain way about it.
Rightfully so. And she's starting to just see a little bit more or pay attention to like all of the times that Xander just feels like he absolutely has to correct her on everything and puts her down and belittles her and makes fun of her with his friends in front of her.
Every chance he gets.
Every chance. Like he says more mean stuff to her than nice. So Buffy claims that she called an emergency meeting and Xander he says that Anya is entertaining her friend, but he left before Buffy called this emergency meeting.
Right.
So I don't know. Dawn can't find Willow. She said she knocked on her door. She never answered. So it's just Xander and Dawn and Buffy. Buffy has brought the finger and has brought the burger with her. Now, mind you, this is like 3 levels of wrong of what Xander does. First, Buffy brings the burger and just sets it on the table. She does not clarify why it's there or who it's for. It could have been hers. Nobody knows. So it
sure wasn't yours.
Right. So from the time that it takes Buffy and Dawn to walk away from the table, for Dawn to comment on Buffy smelling gross, Buffy being disgusted by herself, Buffy pulling out a finger, and then we turn around and Xander's eating the entire fucking burger. That was not said, hey, this is for you.
Right. Not to mention the fact that she, at that point, says something about it being made of people and he's about to throw up.
Right. And he still had stuff unchewed in his mouth and he swallowed it after she said that.
And Willow has come in and she's trying to hide the fact that, she's got this magic coursing through her veins. She picks up a pencil and it goes all rubbery.
Keep it cool. Be cool, Willow. Be cool.
Yeah, be cool. Be cool. And can we just talk about how cute Buffy's hair actually? It really does suit her.
It does. It looks really cute, and her makeup is really great too.
Outfit and the red lipstick. I like it.
Yeah, this is a good look for you, Buffster. And Xander, I don't know why he didn't just immediately go to the bathroom and throw that up.
I don't know. Instead, he just sits there and keeps dry heaving.
Yeah.
It's like, stop being a dick. You're always a dick. That's our just one wish, Xander. Stop being a dick.
So Buffy has come up with the hypothesis that, this is the big cover. Like, this is the perfect cover. It's a fast food joint. They have a high turnover rate, so they just serve people as meat. It's cheap, and, blah, blah, blah. It's always there. And this is probably all over the country because there's Doublemeat Palaces all over the place. And Dawn's like, yeah, I've eaten there several times. So everybody's like, they're in an uproar. And finally, Willow agrees to go ahead and try to take the very little bit of pieces that Xander has left and to try to use science to break it down and find out what it is. If it's people. Buffy goes back to the restaurant to investigate.
Yeah, which, okay, I guess you have keys now? Or did you just break in?
I guess you just broke in. We're always doing burglary, breaking and entering Always doing
breaking and entering is very popular in Sunnydale. People don't even lock their doors anymore because what's the point?
Right. Like just the doors unlocked. Just don't break the windows, please. They're very expensive.
And she finds a foot.
Manny's foot. We assume because of the saddle shoes.
Yep. R.I.P. Manny. So sorry.
Bye, dude.
And he's gone. And then we're ping-ponging back and forth between Doublemeat Palace and the Magic Box. And we get more with Xander and Dawn. And then Willow is trying to figure out what's going on. And poor baby is shaking, trying to pour these potions into like these beakers, and she just can't do it. But she has finally figured out that there are proteins in the meat, and then it's just proteins. It's not people.
Nope. Soylent Green is not
vegetables.
People. Just vegetables. That's the big secret. It's a vegan. It's a vegetarian burger. It's a veggie burger.
Right. It's just a veggie burger. And then here comes Dick Xander again because Anya has run in. She's like, I'm here. And he's just like, so your friend, she gone?
Right. What? And then he starts to ask some really ignorant questions about her demonic appearance. Like, is that what you really look like ignorant. When you were like, dude, like, why? Why are we going?
You know, her face with the veins. And is that how she?
Yes, it is. It's like
she's still pretty, Xander.
Like, why do you shut up?
And you can see Anya start, and she even says, and you criticize, and she's like, all this stuff is coming out at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Like, because we do actually have like shit going on that we need to deal. Like, let's unpack all that at home, not in front of the child. I don't get why everybody can just get into the Doublemeat Palace.
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and assume that the old lady had found keys at some point, like after her first victim or whatever. She took their keys.
No way. And Buffy, stop. Like, you're way too comfortable just holding on to parts of people. She held on to that finger for a good solid 5 minutes. She's just walking around with this foot. But no, she's walking around, and then she finds a wig. And that's when she realizes that it's Wig Lady.
Wig Lady.
And Wig Lady is not happy about being called Wig Lady.
She's like, oh dear, is that what the kids call me?
It's better than, what the hell is that dick coming out of your head? You want us to call you that?
Right.
Because now this really gross looking Beetlejuice alien resembling thing comes out of her head.
Yeah. And her eyes are gone. Mm-hmm. It's a very awkward prosthetic thing that's happening here, or effects, and
who had this idea?
I don't know. I have no idea. But apparently there's her gross. The thing coming out of her head spits some sort of venom that paralyzes, and Buffy's been paralyzed. So now she's crawling, dragging her body across the floor.
And Willow's the only person that can't seem to get in right away.
Right.
She's speaking into the drive-through speaker.
Oh, God.
Buffy, I know everything. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to not get eaten by this dick monster. I don't want to get eaten by the dick worm.
Oh.
But Buffy, because she's a slayer, the paralysis doesn't last as long as it probably did on Manny or Gary.
Right.
And she's able to kind of like crawl and pull herself with her arms, but her legs are dead.
I am confused by the fact that Willow is able to speak through this thing and Buffy can hear her. Like, so is the speaker just on all the time? Because I thought, shouldn't there have to be someone on the other side to be like, listen?
Yeah, with a headset.
Right.
Because I don't remember just being inside of a Wendy's and just hearing everything that's being ordered through the drive-thru.
Just like, yeah. And Willow also takes this opportunity that she can't see her face to face to confess that Amy dosed her.
Yeah. And she's feeling so guilty about it.
I know.
But she hears something fall. And that's Buffy being slowly nibbled to death by the dick monster.
So gross.
Like, how long did it take her to eat Garrett? Because it's slowly like just nibbling on her shoulder.
This is taking forever.
And Buffy accidentally hits the button for the meat grinder.
And things get considerably more gross. Oh, God.
So gross, because Willow comes in and the thing tried to spit its venom at her, but Willow ducked, and she gets a very sharp knife and she manages to cut the thing off of the lady's head, and Buffy stabs it with a knife, and then Willow throws it into the grinder, and we get a classic Willow scream as it pops its head out of the grinder. And she shoves it back in. And she's so excited. She's like, look, Buffy, look what I did. And then they look, but it's like grinding it up.
It's so disgusting.
Meat grinder.
I just want to hurl.
This place is going to have to be closed for like a month.
Yeah.
To disinfect
everything. All of the things. Just, you know what? Burn it down. Salt the earth. Start fresh. So Amy, next day, has the nerve to bring her punk ass over to ask for some detergent.
Your dad can't go buy you some detergent? Why are you here? And Willow is like, no.
No, ma'am.
Get to stepping.
Exactly. And so she's all, oh, you didn't like your present? You sure you're going to tell me that you didn't have a great time? And Willow's like, yeah, but that's not the point. The point is that you were supposed to be my friend, and I told you what I needed and what I did not need, and that wasn't it, and you did not respect it. I paraphrase. Yeah. But yeah. And so she breaks her down as that, you're not my friend. Don't come around here no more.
And she like, Amy's like, tell me you didn't have fun. Right. Go ahead. And Willow's like, shut up. And you can see there's a moment where Amy's like, huh. She might kick my ass.
Right.
And Willow makes the point, if we're friends, leave me alone.
Right.
If we're not friends, leave me alone.
Exactly.
And Amy kind of like turns on her heels like, fine. And I think that's the last we see of Amy for a bit.
I think so.
Until season 7.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right.
When she comes back and does something even more fucked up.
Amy, you bitch.
And so now it's time for Miss Lorraine Ross,
Yay!
a.k.a. Karen Vick.
Chief Karen Vick.
Buffy's come to work and she knows she's been fired and she wants to turn in her uniform, and she's like, it's fine. Okay, here you go. But can I ask you one thing? So the burger's vegetables? And Lorraine's like, oh, shut the door.
Ooh, oh, ma'am. No. We don't say the V word around here.
And so now Buffy has found that she has some very useful information. And like a good person, all she wants to do with that information is just get her job back. That's all she wants.
Right. Which, why though, Buffy? I mean, that's a great little...
right?
Your
you
money
got
problems.
A quick payday
right?
And been out.
Money problems would have been solved immediately.
Yep. But no, she takes the high road and she just wants her job back.
You with your morals.
Right? And she gets her job back, and Lorraine tells her, you can be a lifer too, because she's been there for 5 years.
Guys, I don't want to. I just want to be able to fucking lifer my bills right now.
Right? Like, no disrespect, but what makes you think this 20-year-old girl
right
wants to spend the rest of her life?
She hasn't given up just yet.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that McDonald's managers can actually make a pretty decent salary.
Yeah.
But then you have to smell like that.
All the time. Like, just from the waitress jobs I've had, I've come home smelling like food. I couldn't imagine like what it's like to be over a grease trap and grill and oil hot box or whatever the fuck it's called.
So the moral of our story reminds me right here, I'm going to say it early, is tip your waitresses.
Yes,
people.
Please. And
because they get paid shit you treat them like shit.
Oh my God.
If you're going to treat them like shit, at least pay them well.
Right, exactly. It's like they're not there as your servants. Like it's a service that is provided, which, you know, it has to happen, I guess, some kind of way. I didn't make up the rules, and I don't understand why you have to tip them and not fast food workers, but still, you know, to bring on the Reservoir Dogs level, the argument of tipping. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, and I also don't know why, like, the system is built that way, like why they have to be tipped,
why they're making $2 and
right, exactly, like why can't they?
An hour,
why can't they?
I'm supposed to make up their salary,
right? Like, why can't they make a real living wage and just do their job instead of like depending upon shitty customers,
right?
To like do the right thing.
Like, y'all know, we've both been waitresses, so we have experienced this firsthand. I don't care how much you love your children. Your children are assholes at restaurants. They just are.
Right. It's not my job. I've
never met, even the most well-behaved child is an asshole at a restaurant.
Yep.
So tip well.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're bringing your brood in there, man. Dude.
Right?
Like, ugh. So, yeah.
No song this week. Just our standard theme song by Nerf Herder, I guess. My burn was, it was a self-burn from Manny. And I just thought it was so cute. He's like, I'm Manny, the manager. It's not a joke. It's just my name. And he seems so like, people have said that to him like for years. And he had to make the joke before you make the joke.
He's just going with it. Okay, Manny, that's fine. Bless your heart.
And yours was Xander's little dig it on, yeah?
Right. And we got bodies dropped.
A lot. Little. Gary was eaten by the wig lady. Manny got eaten by the wig lady. And then the wig lady, which I guess is a lamprey, that was decapitated with a large knife and chopped up in the meat grinder by Willow.
So gross. Oh, God.
So gross.
It does pass
the Bechdel test?
It does pass the Bechdel test. We're getting better.
Our random trivia or goof this week is really funny, actually. And if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see that I posted Sarah Michelle Gellar's Burger King commercial from when she was 5 years old.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Cute little baby girl. She's so cute. But back when she was 5 years old, she appeared in over 30 commercials for Burger King.
Wow.
But the very first one that she appeared in, McDonald's sued Burger King because she makes a statement about how much better Burger King's burgers are than McDonald's. She flat out says McDonald's, and it was the first time that one of the big fast food joints mentioned a competitor in the ad. So McDonald's got all butthurt and sued Burger King, and they named her in the suit as well.
This 5-year-old?
A 5-year-old.
Oh my God.
And now, because of some things she has said in the media over the past, there was this rumor that she was banned for life from eating there. And that's not exactly what happened. What happened was she was a 5-year-old girl who, when you're 5 years old, all of your friends have birthday parties at McDonald's.
Right.
She didn't want to go to McDonald's being the Burger King girl.
Aww.
So she said that she couldn't eat there. Like, she would wear like big sunglasses or a hat because she didn't want to be the Burger King girl at McDonald's.
Aww. Wouldn't.
And then when this show was released, Joss Whedon revealed that the portrayal of the industry caused some of their sponsors to threaten to pull their support. One of their sponsors being McDonald's.
McDonald's are real. You guys are real salty. Like get real in your feelings real fast.
Right?
Like
I'm just surprised, like, that if she had been banned, it would have been really funny that they had to sponsor her show.
Right.
After she talked shit on them when she was hilarious. 5. But I mean, let's be honest, the Burger King burger is better than McDonald's.
I mean, I like Burger King's fries better. It's like, and McDonald's, I can't even walk into a McDonald's without getting sick.
I know.
So let us know your thoughts on the Doublemeat Palace, and you can do so by just visiting us on our Facebook or Twitter, or you can send us an MP3 file of you talking about it, less than 2 minutes, to revisitingsunnydale@gmail.com. Next week's episode is Dead Things.
This episode's problematic.
I don't recall what this one is about.
I'm fairly certain it's the one with the Bush song.
Oh, yeah.
It's the one where Andrew and Jonathan and they do something real bad.
That's right. Okay. Oh, but it's also the balcony scene.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have our ups, we have our downs.
There's a lot to unpack in that episode.
Any hoozles, make sure you tune in next time for Dead Things and find out all of our thoughts on the problems and the beauteous things of Spike's seduction. Working
really
overtime.
Penis, apparently.
Dude could like hook it anywhere, apparently.
Apparently.
You can follow me, Camila, on Twitter at @the_Rugged Angel.
Or me, Marcel, at msphere7338.
Thank you all for listening, and until next time,
hit up our Instagram page.
Yes, RVS_podcast.